Hi guys, Debbie Dubois here. It is time for your weekly reading. Yay! It is July 14th. This week is the July 14th through the 20th. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that reading. This is kind of a part two to a video that I just created, which is an unboxing of the Intuit Oracle, which is the deck, my go-to deck, the deck that I use because it really is the best tool for me. And I wanted to share that with those of you that have got the deck so that you know how to use it. So this video may be a little bit longer than my other videos, but what I encourage you to do is just play it on double time, or 1.25 or 1.5 if you want it to move along a little bit faster. But for those of you who have bought the deck and want some instruction on how to do it, I'm going to throw a little bit of that in. Now bear with me. I've never done this before. This is just me winging it, okay? So anyways, I've done a lot to prepare the deck in that I've taken time to shuffle it because for those of you who caught part one, this is a brand new deck. I just got a brand new deck. I encourage you to just, even if you run through the other video at double time, this deck is impressive, and I've got to give Kimberly Fisher, also known as Aria, the most incredible accolades for a job well done. I have seen her go through this whole process, and to get these cards in my hand, I want to say, sister, you did a great job, and I'm so proud of you. So anyways, we're going to take a look at the cards, all right? I've been charging the deck. And we are doing the love reading for these cards flip so nicely. We're doing the love reading for July 14th. And there's the third card that just popped up. So I'm going to do this because the cards are popping really nicely. I'm going to do that instead of spreading them out like I normally do. We'll see how that goes because we may end up having more cards that flip than we want. But guess what? I'm going to improvise. I'm going to go with it. So let's see what happens. All right. The first question that we have for this week is, what does the coming week look like for you? Now, this is a love reading. This is for people who consider themselves on a catalytic heart awakening path, which is twin flames, twin souls, soulmates. You're very highly motivated by love. You've been catalyzed or wish to be catalyzed, and then I think you're crazy, but you've been catalyzed in some way. From the heart chakra, from the heart center, and it has propulsed you. That's not even a word. It has skyrocketed. How's that? It skyrocketed you forward on this path of self-discovery, coming into your own power, into your own highest self. So that's what the work that I do is all about. It's bringing you into your highest self, and I'm kind of right along that path with you because I'm on the same journey you're on. So let's turn our attentions to the cards here. We're looking at overall energies, okay? So this coming week, we are going to be very carefully aiming, all right, at whatever it is that we're trying to do. Now, it does seem that if we're pairing this with the book, we are very carefully looking to unlock some secrets. All right, unlock some things that we don't know, which is very interesting because I'm going to say that from a geopolitical standpoint right now, we have a lot of things being revealed. I'm not going to be able to keep Jeffrey Epstein out of this conversation. We'll call him Jeffy, all right? We're not going to be able to keep him out of this conversation because, it's something that's so hugely shifting and changing. I want to say, here's an example, just overall energies. We've got a lot of hidden stuff coming out right now, and it's being done on target, quickly, precisely, with complete focus. So it won't go geopolitical, but what I will say is that the overall arching energies are going to have to do about unlocking some mysteries, and that's on a global scale. Now, how do we turn that into something that's on the micro scale for relationships? Because you gotta remember, stuff that is reflected as above, so below. As we have on the larger scale, the smaller scale, the micro scale is also reflective of that. So in terms of relationships, you're going to be uncovering information that you didn't know. They're secrets. They're the mysteries of the universe that are going to help you. And if you target that, if you focus on it, if you become very directly addressing it, you're going to start to unlock some things that you've been wanting to know. All right, so let's pair this, and this is how we work with these cards. We have a central energy, which we are considering the Archer. We've sort of paired the Archer with the Book, all right? But now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pair the Archer with the Lion. Okay, so the stuff that's happening right now is coming into fruition through your focusing on it like a laser, all right? This is your own heart-centeredness. This is your own authority, your own knowing what is fair and just. Now, look at that at a geopolitical scale with everything we just mentioned with Jeffy. We're starting to figure out how we feel about stuff. We're starting to uncover what is fair and just, what authority we need to be focused on. Is it the ego authority, or is it majestic? Is it your higher self? Is it your higher centering? So that's on the higher scale. But if we're talking on an individual scale, the stuff that we're learning, this unknown stuff, this is very much about our self-esteem and overcoming the ego to move into our own authority, our own heart-centeredness, our own what is fair and just. So fantastic. So this is what some of the coming week looks like for you. Now, while I pull, I'm going to shuffle again. While I pull the next set of cards, I do want to let you guys know, if you haven't seen any of my videos recently, I am going to be in Niagara Falls with Marla Kelly, with Kalina Malnar, and also Rob and Angie from Twinfinity, and that's September 27th through the 29th. So if you've been thinking about going to a Twin Flame Ascension workshop, we're having one, and it's going to be great. And the other thing that I want to mention is I want to say thank you to people who have been booking sessions with me. I have got to tell you that the progress that I have seen in some of these catalytic heart awakening twin flame connections with those of you that I've spoken with over the last month, I am so happy, because what I'm seeing is that people are really starting to tune into their own higher knowing. And the only thing that we've really done is maybe cement that, or you've been getting confirmation outside of yourself of things that you already knew, or just getting a few pointers. So anyways, I just want to say thank you. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the next question, which is, let's see, what's the healing emphasis going to be on this week? Well, you know what? I don't have that's not the right question for this. Let me see here. Let's see. All right, you know what? I'm going to skip that question because I am only using this particular reading. I'm only using the Intuit Oracle because and I've got my 3 cards for the question. And I'm not looking at them yet, but yeah, I'm only using these cards because of the fact that they're brand new to me and I want to focus on them this reading. But so we're not doing a healing emphasis. Really what we're going, we might do that, but a little bit later down the road. What I'm trying to find out is what is the energy right now between you and your primary love interest, okay? And so we have some cards that we have pulled. My gosh, we got the geese again. I can't tell you how many times geese come up in these readings. And it's this mission. We're on a quest. All right. But what's really interesting is I see some changes to this card and I love it. Aria, I love this new change. Know where you're going. All right. So the geese is talking about being on a quest. All right. Well, we all know that this path is all about a quest. So the energy between you and your primary love interest is that both of you at some level, whether it's the conscious level or subconscious level, you both are on a quest. All right. And you're looking at where, you are knowing where you're going. All right. You're being very faithful to the migration to where you're going. And if we partner that with the fireworks, okay, there is a part of you that is highly motivated by the fireworks, okay? The fireworks is all about the kissing, the passion, the relationship, the hot sex, all of that good stuff. The celebration of your relationship, maybe even a holiday together. It's about the fringe benefits of having that kind of explosive kind of catalytic relationship. So, the energy between you is there's a longing, and it doesn't always happen on a conscious level. If you are not in connection with that person right now, it might be on a subconscious level for that person, but it is there. Okay, so that's the energy that is there between you, is that as you focus in on this quest and you know where you're going, you know where you want to go. You want to go to the fireworks. You want to go to the passion. But on the other side of things, all right, we're looking at this as so much more important, okay, than the fireworks and the passion. This is about you discovering your true north. This is your life path. This is you finding your direction, finding your way. And you are very faithfully devoted to that. Both of you at a spiritual level, at the higher level. We are here to make that shift and change to the higher vibrations. So while this is almost like the earthly desire for what, motivates you, the carrot on the stick, this is the actual reason why you are here. And I see here the number 22. That's a master number for the foundation. All right. The 1-4 is a 5 for change. All right. So we're moving, and a 6-6 is, I want to say that's from the base. 6-6 is kind of funny, isn't it? Isn't that sort of like the base human ego number? At least I think of it that way. And I guess that comes from the 666, But I think of that, and this is the base, this world energy, but we're talking about changing into a foundational. All right, and this is the 5 and the 8 is a 14. I'm sorry, it's a 13. I know my math. Sorry. The 13 adds up as to a 4, and that's what I was getting with, is that is an angelic number. So you are really together exploring, finding a path, finding a way to get to your true north, and this is about your life path. So that is the primary energy between you and your beloved. Now, let's look at, what does your love interest or your beloved need from you right now? Okay? What do they need from you right now? And these cards are shuffling really nicely in this way. They do want to pop, so I'm being a little careful because I really don't want like a ton of cards popping out at me. I really would like 3 cards. All right, the other thing you'll notice is that there are a couple cards that look like they're face up, like this card right here, and that happens to actually have me on the back with I have a special offer here for readings. Just as I'm saying that, all right, so we have a card pop. But anyways, those cards are the ones that are the crone, the cards with the, here's another one. I'm using the ones that literally flip, like upside, right side up. But those cards are special cards in the deck for this particular printing. I want to use them. I'm not sure how I feel about them not having the same back, but that's okay. We're gonna go with it because I really want to see what those cards do to a reading if they come up. All right, so we're looking for one more card, and that is, we're going to just take the top card, okay? All right, we want to know, what does your love interest need from you right now? Okay. Interesting. We'll have to see how the stalemate is read in this particular reading. All right, so what do they need from you right now? Obviously, this card, the lily, is about established energy. It is about longevity. But the word that pops out to me the most is maturity. It's like they need you to be in your mature self. They need you to be in your developed state, in your the experienced state. They need you to be in your higher, established, I want to say goddess self. They need that from you right now. And really what they need from you is for you to be focused on your own expansion of your own network of people. So being outward and being connected with society and being connected, and I'm saying through a lot of this is through like social, a lot of you guys are all on social media. So when I think of this, I think of being in an expanded state where you are connected with others, all right? Where you are, I don't know, just being more open, being more connected, and in a mature way, all right? And I'm not really sure exactly why they need this of you. Now, what else do they need? Okay, it's interesting. I want to read this energy as they need you to be a little bit more non-committal, a little bit more standoffish. They need you to, I want to say it's almost the rubber band that I talk about. Let me try to explain this. We've got a rubber band between people. When one person steps back, the other person's pulled forward. And when the other person steps back, the other person's pulled forward. There's a little bit of a back and forth. And I do think of it as the rubber band effect, and it's what some people call a runner chaser. But in relationships, sometimes a person really needs you to step back. Because if you step back, and I'm saying, okay, here you are, step back, become more connected to your social life, become more connected to your own, I want to say your own world, your own spotlight, go into your own power, go into your own knowing. What that person needs is for you to take a step back. Because it isn't sometimes until you take a step back that they start to feel like, oh, I'm being tugged towards that person. If you're always there and you're always moving forward, okay, that person can easily stay where they're at. And this is even on higher levels. This doesn't have to be on a conscious level, but they might even step back if you're stepping forward. So what they need for you right now is to just take a step back a little bit. Now, I want to say this, and I've said this always, never close your heart when you take a step back. Never close your heart. You want to keep your heart wide open, but you want to give that person some space. When people have space, they want to step into that space. They feel comfortable to come forward. Okay, so that is what I'm going to say about that. So that is what your love interest needs for you right now. All right, we're going to put this over here. Now, let's talk about what is it that you can focus on right now to improve your life as well as benefit your connection. Let's see what comes up. So we want to know what it is that you can focus on. This is your focus. Shuffle them again just a little bit. All right, my mat's sliding around here. I just want to make sure that I have as much space as possible to show you guys these cards. All right, so I'm just going to carefully shuffle these cards here and ask, what can you focus on right now? There's one. We need two more. Now this is what you should be doing, what you should initiate. Okay, we've got two things. What is it that you should be doing? It's interesting. I think this is the heart card, isn't it? No, it's the Celtic knot. Ooh, all right. Okay. All right. So what should you focus on in your connection that is going to bring about the best absolute outcomes for you and for everybody? Unconditional love. There you go, the Celtic knot. Now, we are talking about, this is union, this is love of a lifetime, this is infinity. The Celtic knot is as close to the twin flame card, and if I'm not mistaken, the 24 might actually be the twin flame card. I'll have to double check that, which is the swans. So you should focus on unconditional love. Now, we're going to talk quickly about what unconditional love is. And I've been asked this definition before. What is really unconditional love? Unconditional love is when your candle is burning so brightly that nobody else can blow it out. So what that means is that your beloved can come to you in any condition. It doesn't matter what they do. You're so strong that they can't blow your candle out. Therefore, you are able to accept them in any given moment. It doesn't matter whether it's perfect love that they're displaying or whether they're being total SOBs. You are not going to get your candle blown out. Now, does that mean that you put up with and allow abusive behavior and things like that because you're so stable? No, it doesn't. It means that you're strong enough to put up boundaries and say, I don't think so. I don't really deserve that. Bye. All right. So you're teaching boundaries, but you don't close your heart, and you don't get knocked off center when that other person comes to you. And unconditional love, that is in all respects, with loving relationships, with family relationships. This is where we are headed. That flame that cannot be blown out. That is unconditional love. So we will turn our attentions back to the cards. Okay, so unconditional love. Now we're going to look at unconditional love. Well, what does that require? That requires deep commitment. It is making sure that you appreciate the uncommon bonds that you have with this person, okay? This is the manifestation of the deepest desires that you have. Now, at the same time, when you take your step back, that doesn't mean you stop loving the person. It doesn't mean that you don't have a complete unconditional love. It just means you're giving them space to feel the space that they have, that they actually have. If you don't give them the space, they're going to take that space. And if they take that space away, they're stepping back, which is only going to make you feel pulled towards them. All right, so you're at a crossroads to where you have the choice. I'm going to look at these two cards now. You're at a crossroads to where you have the choice. You can weigh your options. You can either decide, I'm going to just step back in a loving way, in an unconditional love way. I'm going to focus more on myself and my connections with others and be my really mature self right now. Give that person some space or not. Okay? This means you have a choice. You can decide with your free will what you decide to do. All right? The cards are kind of clear though. The most beneficial choice for you, and this is what our question was, right? What can you focus on right now that is going to benefit your connection most? Well, weigh your options. Realize that the deep commitment and the unconditional love is the most important thing in creating divine union. And then, step back a little bit. Hold back a little bit. I don't want to say that there's some words on the stalemate card that I don't resonate with in this particular case, like refusing to compromise. I don't think it's about that. I think it's more about being a little bit non-committal, being a little bit more standoffish, hold out just a little bit. I wouldn't say blocking, or delaying or anything else, but I would say, withdraw your energies just a little bit. It's not going to kill them, and it's certainly going to help you to have your own space for a short period of time. We're only talking a week, people, right? Okay, so let's talk about what your higher self wants you to know for the coming week. I'm just trying to make a little bit of room here so that we have some room to... All right, what does your higher self want you to know about the coming week? Okay, the first card is the moon. The second card, oh, my favorite card. I love the key. Okay, now we've got several cards that have come up. Whoa, now I'm really in trouble. Okay, these three cards came up, and then these two cards came up. All right, so I'm going with it. And this is kind of what I was concerned about when you got cards that flip real easily and you really want to stick with three, how can you make it work for you? So I'm showing you creatively how you can take what is, what shows up for you. And you can live in the moment of now, and you can be creative, and you can actually use the moment of now to give you the information that you're looking for. So actually this goes this way because this card popped first, then this card, then we had these three cards show themselves up in this way. All right, so what I'm going to do, we still have a central card. So our higher self, what does our higher self want us to know? Well, this is about the power of yes. This is the power of success, the divine masculine, the daytime energies. So Spirit wants us something to know about the word yes. Now, that's not very specific, is it? So what we're going to do is we are going to look at the cards on either side, and we're going to pair different cards. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at them in a row so we can get as much information out of these 5 cards that came up as possible. All right. Very quickly, I'm going to let you know what words pop for me on different cards. This is power, okay? This is the stallion driving forward, okay? This is power. This two-faced I think of as being a little bit about ego, an ego struggle, hiding who you truly are. Obviously, this is a big yes. The solution is, you've got some answers coming for you. You have the solutions to some major problems coming to you. And then the moon is tuning into your own inner knowledge and your inner knowing, which goes right along with the solution. So that's what I kind of do is when I look at the cards, I look at what words pop off at me in the cards. Now, everything that I gave you, I don't even know if the words are on there or not, okay? But let's look at some of the words that are on here. The stallion is about taming the wild. It is about strong emotions. It is about unbridled, moving forward drive. Okay, this is drive. And drive is the most important word to me that kind of goes along with the energy I got off this card. This being a little bit about, I want to say two-faced, meaning ego, almost like you're out of balance or there's an imbalance in the like the 5D, 3D, you've got a little bit of performing going on. Okay, one thing you feel this way, you might be showing this the other way. You're not quite being truthful. You got to go in and find out what is being misrepresented so that you can bring it all to, I want to say, so you can take the mask off. Okay. Obviously the sun, I'm getting powerful yes, which may just be that once we have decided what these cards mean, it's a big energetic yes, we've got that answer. And then the key is obviously about clarity. It's about unlocking something, unlocking the answer, finding a solution, opening up to something, that will help you get that big yes. And where are we going to find that in the moon? We're going to find that is our inner knowing, in our inner intuition. It is where the inner world meets the outer world and where solutions are found. So what does the higher self want you to know for the coming week? Let's just read these cards here. You can be guaranteed of a successful outcome because the Sun card gives you a definite yes on whatever it is you're wanting to know for the coming week. Now, you will want to be careful that you are honest with yourself, because if you conceal how you feel, you will project onto other people what you do not want to accept within inside of yourself. If you try to pretend that you feel a particular way and you disguise how you truly feel, you're going to give yourself away. It's going to be, people are going to be able to see through that is what I'm getting. Now I'm going to look over here. Now, okay, so you might be having some very strong emotions. You may be feeling this drive forward, and maybe that's not going really well with this. I need to pull back my energies right now in a sort of a standoffish position. So this might be where this stalemate, like standing off and everything, this mask is basically saying, listen, you might actually be tempted to try to pretend that you're being standoffish, but you're really having this strong sexual energy. You're very motivated forward in this connection, and you're trying to pretend that you aren't in order maybe to fulfill this thing here. I want to jump over here to the solution. All right, the solution and the clarity is go into your inner knowing. All right, your inner knowing is going to allow you whatever processing you need to do in order to come out to take off your mask. Because when we talk about stepping back in a stalemate, stepping back, becoming a little bit more non-committal, it needs to be at the soul level. It can't be at the mask level. It can't be, I'm showing you that I won't, because they can see through that. You really have to get to a place where You are very carefully aiming. You're very carefully targeting this mask and saying, how do I get this mask off? How do I become aligned with the energies of really being non-committal, like really stepping back and focus? And this is the key right here. This is the key right here, I think, is get connected to your peeps. You know, get connected to people who make you feel really good about yourself, work through issues with other people. And this is your own free will choice. So that's how I'm starting to read that, is that the key and the solution is really, you've got to get in line with this. You have to, if you're going to use this standoff, information, I'm standing off a little bit from you, you really have to be in your heart. Okay, this has to be true unconditional love, not pretend unconditional love. And you're going to have to tame that stallion, because that stallion wants to jump forward. You're getting a lot of energies like wanting you to move forward, okay? There's the fireworks that are that's that passion, and you want to make something happen, but you got to be careful of that, because if you pull back, it might just be a disguise. It might not be real. Okay, and yes, I'm getting the energy of yes, I'm on target with that. We have to be careful of our divine masculine that wants to make stuff happen. I know a lot of you really like to make things happen. I'm a make things happen kind of person. I got a lot of masculine energy, but we got to tune that back a little bit. We got to tame the wild. So let's look at what else we have here. Okay. Well, that's what I'm getting on that from the higher self. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to see if there is a message, though, here going left to right before I'm going to go ahead. I like to pull an Ascended Master card at the end to kind of tie everything together, and I'll do a read of the total spread, but like I usually do. Let's just see as we demonstrate how these cards work. If you end up with more than 3 cards, or if you're in a situation where you just want to, you can just sit and flip cards and let it tell you the story. Like if you've got an idea, hey, higher self, just give me an idea of what I need to know about this situation. Then you start flipping cards, go with as many as you feel, or shuffle them and let them pop out and take as many as flip over and use that as your sequence. All right, so this is how I would read these cards in left to right progression, because interestingly enough, I found myself reading them right to left. Well, let's go back and see if we can read them another way and see if there's any other information we can unlock. All right. Anytime we go into our inner knowing and our intuition, into our subconscious mind, and unlock secrets, okay, when we bridge the gap between what our inner world wants and what our outer world expresses, we will find the key and the solution. That is the genius of going inside into your inner knowing, so that you can gain clarity through your source intelligence. You will unlock the answers to some of these things. And when you do, you're going to have an incredible alignment with success. Your energy is going to be better. You're powerful. So you're going to stand in a more powerful presence. You're going to see, I think of the word climax as being, you're going to see like powerful culminations of what you're working on. And you're going to be living in daytime energies with the well-lit things. The caution is to make sure that you are not living in behind a mask, that what you feel is really what you're showing. So if you find yourself suppressing your actual feelings about something, that's not necessarily a good thing. You literally want to go back into your inner knowing, find out what you need to let go of, these beliefs about yourself that's keeping you pretending, if you will, and that is going to enable you to break free. It's going to move you forward with incredible drive, not necessarily towards that person, but towards your own desires. It's going to motivate you to drive forward, to break free out of this particular disguised position. Okay, so that's what these cards are telling me if I do a left to right. So you see how that works? You can do left to right. You can do pairs of 3. You can do pairs of 5. I'm sure there's all kinds of creative ways that you guys can figure out how to use these cards. I'm just showing you how I use them, at least up to this point. You never know. I may change up and use them a little bit differently. I do like using them in conjunction with other cards. And if you've caught some of my readings, I do tend to, use them with healing. That's where I was going with this in the beginning, is what is it that we need to work on? Okay, I had a card flip over that is going to tie this all together. It's called Let Go. It's Kuan Yin energy, and I'm going to make room on the table to make sure that we can get Kuan Yin here. But yeah, I like using other oracle decks or tarot cards and stuff like that. And then I like a dominant, Intuit Oracle dominant table. I mean, because the words just, they flow all over, and I just get so much information from them. And now no books and no memorizing. Okay, so let's just quickly do a wrap up of this reading based on the information that Kuan Yin is going to give us here. And because I have a ceiling fan going, you might see that, I am going to see about propping her up a little bit. Let me see. See if I can prop her up a little bit so that you don't get the annoying fan. Oh, looky there. All right, so Kuan Yin is giving us the message of let it go. Okay. I want to say that the major card where that pertains to, let it go, is letting go of control. Letting go of having your hands on the steering wheel. We talked a little bit about that. A lot of us want to use our control to make things happen. But this particular week, we really need to let things go, and we really need to move into our maturity, okay? We've worked really hard for it. In that maturity, spend some time with your friends, spend some time on your social networking, on your own, I want to say it's also your own projects, what you're trying to move forward from a marketing standpoint, from a social media standpoint, from a publicity standpoint, from an exposure standpoint. Focus more on that right now. That puts you a little bit in a step back position, which is a let it go. Let go of the control with that person, be in your higher self in that respect. Now the energies are saying that both people are quite committed to this connection, and the whole purpose of it is to find your true north. But unless you let it all go and allow it to unfold naturally, you are trying to steer it. All right, and that is a decision that you can make. I mean, this is where free will comes in. You have the opportunity to do anything that you want, but you're being asked to weigh those options. What are your options? Well, you can be in unconditional love, which is the vibration of divine union, right? It is in vibration with knowledge that you're in eternal love, and that takes a deep commitment. But you recognize the uncommon bonds that you have. All right. When you actually recognize those uncommon bonds, look at what you've got. You've got the ability to let it go. You've got the trust level to let it go. All right. Now, the thing that I'm seeing, the only card that I'm seeing in this reading at all that you need to be focused on and be aware of is this mask. Okay. There is a tendency to act as if we are extremely in our power when we're not. Okay, that's something that, I completely recognize. I'm a Sagittarius, and a Sagittarius is a natural actress, okay? And I can act in any way, but so can all of us. We can put on that mask, that acting mask, and hide how we truly feel, because we have this idea of how we should truly feel. So we try to match how we think we should be behaving, right? So what we have to do is we have to continually monitor to make sure that we are literally being truthful. All right. So this week, some of the ways we will do that is Kuan Yin is saying, let it go. So if you find that you're wearing a mask because you feel a particular way, but you don't want someone to know that you feel a particular way, because for them to have influenced you to feel a particular way makes you feel weak or whatever, you're being asked to just let it go. Accept how you feel. If you feel a particular way, accept it. It's okay that you feel that way. Allow yourself what you truly feel. And then when you look at it, you can say, is this beneficial for me to hang on to? No. The other thing that I always advise is if you are in a place where you don't like what you're feeling, to ask yourself, what must I believe about myself right now in order to, what must I believe in order to feel this way? So when you go into that belief and you're like, well, geez, I must believe this, because if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't feel this way. Once you find that, what is that? And you ask yourself, is it really true? You're going to be like, no, it's not. 95% of the time. That is from Bashar. I want to give credit where credit is due. I align very much with Bashar energy. And that mask is what you're looking at. That is what you're trying to shift. That is the big yes. It's like, it's funny because I want to take this card and I want to light this card up and I want to say, so much of this journey is about letting go. So much of this journey is about allowing what is to be, and to be in that moment of now and to make the most of it. And if you'll notice, this whole reading that I did for you was not scripted except some questions. All right. But I had to go with that flow. I had to, hey, if more cards pop out, I saw a great demonstration of this. And I want to bring this up. Maura in our tarot group. And if you're not in, it's an Intuit tarot group on Facebook. If you're not in it and you want to join, please join. If you want to, it's not just Intuit Oracle. It's all Oracle. It's all tarot. But anyways, she did her first video and she was using her camera and her camera tipped over and her cards were flipping. And she says, I don't know how to shuffle like you do, Debbie, because this is my group. And all I could think of was, oh my God, bless your heart, Maura, that you are allowing yourself to go with that flow and be in that moment and not beat yourself up and not get frustrated. You just did it. That is what the let it go is all about. That is where your higher secrets to all of this are. So, bravo. So we're going to just go ahead and wrap up this reading now. We've talked a lot about how, you're going to be finding some hidden things are going to be coming to light. You are going to be finding out what in your heart center is fair and just. And I do believe that's from a higher standpoint. That's the overall energies. And I think, look to if you're interested, you don't have to know what's going on. But if you're interested, you may want to know what's going on. I think that is pretty much it. I'm going to leave it there. I think the only thing that I want to say is thank you so much for tuning in. I have some things coming that I'm going to be doing that are going to be quite different than this. I've actually got a Dear Debbie column that I'm going to do. And it's literally going to be answering questions like really, really like Dear Abby used to. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take questions. And I've been doing it over the years in the different Twin Flame groups. So I'm going to be on the lookout for really good questions, and I'm going to use them in my Dear Debbie videos. If you want to ask a very specific question, go ahead. I'm going to make these videos a lot more casual. All right. You're probably going to see me with my hair pulled up, hanging out in my hammock or curled up on the couch. I don't want this to be a formal, well lit. It's just going to be me pulling out my cell phone and answering questions. So that's one of the things I'm going to add. The other thing I'm going to add, which I'm really excited about, is I have a character that I created using Snapchat. And I call her Daisy. And Daisy has a unique way of looking at situations, and it's situations from work situations to I just hired a housekeeper and had a horrible experience, so I'm going to be posting that. It's a little bit of a lighthearted look at different perspectives and adding a little bit of humor. I'm trying to let you guys know who I am too. I am quite zany. I do some crazy things, and I love to do my little videos with my character Daisy. So I'm going to start releasing some of those. Some of them are really funny. Some of them are sad. Some of them make me cry. I can't even post those. I don't want to make anyone cry. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because I feel like it might hurt. Because you want to express yourself, and it's a great way to get in touch with how you really feel, to do some say anything. So I'm going to add her to my channel. So anyways, I'm going to be doing my live reading after I come back from vacation at the end of July. I've got my child starting school, so sometime very soon, and I am going to be giving away one of these. All right. So if you want to know how to be included in, there's a live reading that's going to be done, and I'm also giving away a deck. So there's two ways to actually, win a drawing, so that you can get your questions answered. And I love working like that. Also, I just want to say, if you do want to book a session with me, True Sacred Union, if you go to True Sacred Union, you can go to the shop and you'll see what sessions are available. I do sessions like this, but I actually, I can pull cards. Cards are fine, but I'm really, really good at seeing higher perspectives on your situations, and sometimes either being a confirmation or giving you a perspective you haven't thought about. So that's something you might want to think about. But anyways, I want to thank you so much for being here with me, and I guess the next reading will be next week. So I look forward to delivering another reading for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.